Well, this story happened in my location. Well, not far from my location. It happened in my state. It was kind of a big deal when it was first talked about. And then it faded super quick, and I was wondering what happened, and now I see. Just as I figured, unfortunately. Um, Black student who said a white male classmates cut her dreadlocks admits she'd made the entire story up. This is getting we're on the verge of just complete ridiculousness with these hoax hate crime stories. I stated it back when Jussie Smollett was doing his whole fake thing. This just furthers the divide we have in this nation. Situations like this, what are they helping? What are these people seeking to succeed in? Like, what are they trying to do with all this fake hate? Are they upset that America's not as full as hate as everyone, like on the mainstream media, this, that, and the other, the progressives and all this say it is? I think so. Oddly enough, I think these people that do these hoaxes, I think they actually like the fact that they think that America is evil. That white people hate black people and this, that, and the other, which is just not true. It's not true, people, especially here in Virginia. Seems like most of the racist people that have come out here in Virginia have been on the Democratic side, sadly enough. But we're going to get into a little bit of the story, just to rehash it a little bit. A sixth grade student who last week accused 3 classmates of forcibly cutting her dreadlocks has admitted she made up the allegations, according to her family and the school principal. Emery Allen, a 12-year-old African-American girl, had accused 3 white boys in her grade at Emmanuel Christian School in Springfield, Virginia. She said they held her down on the playground during recess, covered her mouth, called her insulting names, and used scissors to cut her hair. First off, I can't even imagine that happening. That is something that I just can't even see that happening. A group of people holding someone down and no one stopped it, or no one came in. Come on. There's already a seed of doubt in my mind just from her story. Fairfax police launched an investigation into the incident last week after they were contacted by the girl's family. Meanwhile, social media erupted in outrage. Commenters made much of Vice President Pence's wife, Karen Pence, teaching art part-time at the private school. Now you can see why this whole thing was most likely fabricated. Because the vice president's wife works at the school. Yeah. To those young boys and their parents, we sincerely apologize for the pain and anxiety these allegations have caused, they said. This is the family. To the administrators and families of Emmanuel Christian School, we are sorry for the damage this incident has done to the trust within the school family and the undue scorn it has brought to the school. The broader community, who rallied in such passionate support for our daughter, we apologize for betraying your trust. We understand there will be consequences, but we are prepared to take responsibility for them. The grandparents continued. We know that it'll take time to heal. We hope and pray that the boys, their families, and the school and the broader community will be able to forgive us in this time. Well, I am part of your broader community, and I will say I do forgive you. But, that said, you need to educate your granddaughter on what's really going on what's actually happening and what's actually not happening. Do you see the damage that this political landscape that we've created is causing young people? I'm not going to go into the rest of the story on this particular article. I am going to click over here to this article. Liberals react after girl admits she faked a hate crime. And yeah. Liberals are actually saying Mike Pence pressured her to recant. Wow. What false reality are these people living in? And I don't like that they necessarily call them liberals. Because from my own experience, a lot of actual liberals could see through this. They can see through the BS that we're constantly fed. I think it should say progressives react. But if you go down through here, this is after she admitted that she lied. Just look at some of these tweets. This school is connected to the Trump administration because Mike Pence's wife, Karen, teaches there. We're desperately trying to make this story go away. This smells like a payoff. This is, like I said, after they already came out and admitted it was a lie. I hope the family got a huge bag of money because they weren't going to get any justice from the criminal justice system. Just as Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, Brett Kavanaugh's accuser. You know, that woman who completely fabricated something. She couldn't remember hardly anything. Her own friends said that they did not agree with her story. Come on. This is what we're going through, people. Look at it. From CNN. A 12-year-old African-American girl who claimed 3 white classmates pinned her down and cut her dreadlocks say she made up the story, her school says. And then what does Kim Weidman say? Said the dreadlocks cut themselves. No, she has hands. See these things that are in this picture that she's holding up? Those are called hands. Not sure if you're familiar with them. They're these crazy little devices we all, generally we all have. And they can manipulate scissors. Yes. It's factual that you can cut your own hair and say someone else did it. I know that's an amazing concept to some of these progressives. Here's another tweet. She just admitted she made it up. From B1. Oh, okay, you're probably not a lying white supremacist troll trying to protect Karen Pence or anything. What? What is wrong with you people? This is why I don't go on my Twitter. I only go on it generally when there's some type of debate happening. For I can go on there and just comment on the debates. Give my commentary. My 2 cents, so to say. But, yeah. She literally admitted she made it up. The family even came out and apologized. Oh, okay, you're probably not a lying white supremacist troll trying to protect Karen Pence or anything. Get out of here. What is wrong with you people? I'm not saying you people as in the people watching. Most of y'all, I could say almost all of y'all are intelligent enough to see the BS. But this is what we're dealing with. She was probably pressured to recant by Pence. No, I don't think Pence really cared because he probably knew it was all a freaking hoax. But this is what we've created. We've created a political environment that is so toxic that even children get pulled into it. Even children. Children shouldn't really have too much to do with politics because they're not ready for it. They're mentally not ready. There's so much involved. It takes years and years just to figure out the basics behind it. And half the time, you can look at professional politicians, they don't even know what's going on half the time. Because everything's so fluid. Everything changes so much. But I can say that this seems to be a progressive leaning issue of why they're using children as pawns in their little sick games. You had this girl. Who pressured her to do this is what I'd like to know. They've already admitted that she made this up. Who pressured her to do this? Was she pressured, or did she actually come up with this on her own? And if she came up with it on her own, how does she get these type of ideas? Was it the media? You know, the fake news media that constantly lies to us all? Was it them? Who was it? Was it someone in her family? Was it her friends? Who did this? I don't know. But all I can say is that every time children are getting drugged into this, we're further just destroying everything. Everything. Because these kids are going to grow up, these modern kids are going to grow up politically crazy. Because look at the atmosphere we're letting them see. Politics has gotten so out of control that I don't see anything good coming from it. We got this nonsensical impeachment push by the Democrats right now, who have been trying since the day he was elected. They've been trying to impeach the president. They constantly, when one story is debunked, they just move on to another one and wait for it to get debunked. Once it's debunked, they already got something else waiting in the wings. Look at the way they used Greta Thunberg, or Thunberg, however you pronounce it. I don't really care. She's just a know-nothing 16-year-old from Sweden. They prop her up. They try to make her the face of climate change. She goes to the UN, makes a complete fool of herself. Why? Because she's a child and she doesn't know how to do any of this. She doesn't know how to debate. She doesn't know how to talk properly. She sits there and she made a fool out of herself and the whole climate change movement by going up there and ranting and raving like a spoiled little child. Not a good look. I can tell you that. It didn't make me want to go out and clean up or anything. It made me angry at her and the climate change activists for propping her up. She is a child that doesn't know anything about anything. She's 16 years old. With activist, super progressive parents that happen to be actors. Because if you look at the way she does things, when she's scripted, she's very convincing, very passionate, and very put together. But you take her and start asking her questions off the script, and she falls apart. That's because she's doing the will of her parents. Her parents are using her as a pawn, and this is terrible. And I wonder if someone did this with this girl. We got to stop using children. It's not really a conservative problem as it is a progressive problem. Look at the Desmond is Amazing kid. Yeah. My eyes, that's child abuse. You shouldn't have a young child with any type of mental illnesses or conditions just doing these things. Yeah, it's disgusting. But I would love to hear your comments. And my biggest thing is, don't ever believe what you hear. Cross-reference this, research everything, dig deep, and you will find the actual truth. But it's gonna be just mired in the weeds. You have to take your machete in there and cut out the weeds and find the truth yourself, people. Because the media is not going to give it to you. I mean, the alternative media, we do our best. I'm more of a commentator than anything, but we try to do our best to give you the actual facts. I will never purposely mislead. That is not my goal. If I am wrong, I will, yeah, if someone calls me out for being wrong and can point me to where I'm wrong with facts, I will admit it. You know, I'll say, oh, okay, you got me. I did not know that. No problems. No worries. I should have done more research. Other people need to do the same thing. But like I said, I'd love to hear your comments on this and these constant hate hoaxes that we're seeing, and the way liberals, not really liberals, but progressives and these leftists use children to try to manipulate other people all the time. But as always, like, share, and subscribe. I will catch y'all on the flip side.